CNN reporter Jim Acosta has his White House access revoked after a doctored video shared by Sarah Huckabee Sanders seemingly shows him getting into a physical altercation with a White House intern. I'm Nathan Seelove, and this is Factually Biased. I know that this story happened last week, but I didn't make a second video last week, and this is truly an amazing story, and I need to talk about it. So, this channel was founded on the belief that objectivity and neutrality are not the same thing. And what I mean by that is that sometimes one side is just wrong. Sometimes the facts back up one side better than the other. And to present both sides as equal all the time, when the facts demonstrate that they are not equal, is not objective. It is neutral. It is committing the middle ground fallacy. So, I think that the media often suffers from the middle ground fallacy. I think that they have a tendency to try to present both sides as equally as possible. And I don't think that's productive. And I don't think that's the media doing their job. The media's job is to find the truth and report the truth. And if a politician, regardless of what side they're on, is not telling the truth, they should be called out for that. So, and what I mean by all of this is not to endorse what Fox News did to President Barack Obama during the 8 years of his presidency, because they found every little tiny stupid thing to criticize him about and then ran 24-hour news cycles about it. One time, they created a media firestorm because Barack Obama saluted a Marine soldier while he was holding a cup of coffee, claiming that because he did this, it was disrespecting the military. This is just proof that Obama hates the military and he hates veterans, and that is just a ridiculous notion. Now, consider their reaction when Donald Trump criticized John McCain for being a prisoner of war, criticized the family of a fallen Muslim soldier, or what about when he was supposed to call a widow of a fallen soldier to try to comfort her and try to thank her for her husband's service, and he didn't even bother to remember the guy's name? No, that's not. Don't look at that. Don't worry about that. So I think there were lots of things that the media should have criticized Obama about and that they should have spent more time criticizing him about. I have plenty of criticisms of the Obama administration. But that's not what the media often does. So imagine how happy I was when, during the press conference right after the midterm election, CNN reporter Jim Acosta stood up and started questioning Donald Trump about his use of the migrant caravan as a fear-mongering tactic during the midterm election. You know, the caravan that was hundreds of miles from the United States border that Donald Trump kept calling an invasion, even though they were asylum seekers. So Jim Acosta is calling him out for this, is trying to question whether or not Donald Trump was using them as rhetorical pawns in this narrative in order to fire up his base for the midterm election, which seems to be true because ever since the midterm election happened, we seem to not be hearing about the migrant caravan anymore. So Donald Trump got really angry during this exchange because someone was asking him tough questions and he can't handle tough questions, and he sent one of his interns over to take the mic from him. And Jim Acosta struggled for a bit to hold on to the microphone, and at one point he made light contact with the intern, and it subsided. But then later, Jim Acosta had his press access, had his White House access revoked, and the reason stated was based on a video that Sarah Huckabee Sanders shared on her Twitter that seemed to show Jim Acosta karate chopping the intern that was trying to take his microphone. And it turns out she got that clip from InfoWars. And not surprisingly, it turned out that video was doctored. that it was sped up to make it look like he hit her harder than he actually did. Now, this reminds me of what Trump said recently in a rally, where he stood up and told his supporters, "What you're seeing and what you're hearing is not what's happening." And that should frighten everyone, because that is a stepping stone towards authoritarianism, when we can no longer trust our eyes, because they might have been manipulated by our leaders in power. We are heading down a dangerous path. And the fact that Sarah Huckabee Sanders immediately shared this, and not only shared it, but used it as an excuse to block a reporter from the White House, is a dangerous precedent. And I don't like this path. And we as American citizens need to start recognizing that from now on, not only can we not trust the words that are stated and presented by the White House, we can't even trust the videos or the images, because they are not above using doctored footage. It's a dangerous precedent, and it's a dangerous road. And I hope we come out of it, but things are not looking good right now. So that's all I got for you today. Thank you all for watching. If you liked this video, please consider giving it a like or a share, and leave a comment down below. Tell me what you thought. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you next week.